Hey everyone, Miko here from the Mickosis project, and this is the Atlas Initiative Release Retrospective. If you're unfamiliar with the term retrospective, it just means to look back. This is usually a term used in software development life cycles, where a team identifies what went wrong or what went great during the development cycle. Today, I'm going to share with you guys what I have learned during my debut release as well, and I hope you can apply it to your own debut release or your future releases. I wanted to share what I've learned during the process because I want to be transparent with what I've done. And also, I want you to be inspired, or anyone to be inspired watching the video who wants to release his or her own music as well, or basically any endeavor or any dream that you want to chase, because I think this can be applied to any endeavor that you plan to do. But first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to the EP, buying merch, sharing the song, for loving the release in general. My debut release wouldn't be as successful for each and every one of you, so I guess hooray us, right? As of recording this video, we're up around 11,000 unique listeners on Spotify alone, 25,000 streams across all the songs on Spotify alone as well, and my Instagram and YouTube account has grown quite a bit. I released this EP with no prior releases, so I'm a relatively new artist with no connection within the industry or like in the genre. So I would say this is a successful release in my book. Now let's talk about what I've learned. Okay, so my first point is set your goal in the beginning. This one's very important, and I think this is a bit cliche, but I think this is often overlooked in the modern recording age because it's so easy to record and write music and just release it the next day even if you wanted. Before I even tracked the first song of the EP, I wrote down on Google Docs which songs I would pick for the EP, what strings I'm going to use, my schedule for the EP, and also who will be my guest features, who will mix, who will master the song, basically all your plans for the release. It doesn't have to be very granular, especially when it comes to the preparing for the marketing part yet, but a general guide would help, like putting your budget, for example, and also put your expectations towards the release. What do you want to get out of it? Do you want more listeners, or do you want to improve as a songwriter? Do you want to improve your mixing skill? You should also write that down. I highly suggest doing that, and also set your goals realistically. I'd even suggest that you underestimate than you overestimate. In my case, my expectation was really low because I know how many artists are releasing monthly, and also I'm a very unknown artist. It's hard to get in the genre if you're like new, no past experiences. So in my case, I set my unique listeners in a month, which you can track in the monthly listeners page on Spotify. I've set it to 500. That's my expectation, that at least I get to have 500 unique people to listen to the songs, and that's enough for me. And what do you know, we reached almost 12,000 now. So like, how many percent difference was that? But imagine if I set my goal to be 1,000 listeners and I got 500 listeners only. I'd be disappointed, right? So it's better to underestimate than to overestimate. Also, I said earlier that you should be able to write what your goal in the release as well, not just the numbers that you can measure if you're successful. You should ask yourself, what is your goal for the release? Do you plan on getting a certain audience? Do you want to impress your fellow producers and peer guitar players? Do you want to be an artist that you just want to write and record and release no matter how many people listen to it? Or do you want to be a content creator where you will be doing everything by yourself, like all around, from videos to songs to everything? That is a valid question because it determines where you should focus your time, your money, and also your energy, which is like the main currency in this endeavor. For example, for me, this is not my full-time job as of yet, so my time is limited in writing and recording the EP. I only get to do it after work or the weekends, and I would like to prioritize which is important for me. Should I learn Photoshop? Should I learn Premiere Pro? Of course, I've done that, but imagine if you're over investing in one part where that is not really your goal. What if you just want to release a song, you have the money, you don't want to waste your time, and you can just pay for everything, right? That's kind of an extreme example, but imagine that you can only use those three currencies that I've said earlier? That is a valid question as well, because it determines where you should invest your time, your effort, and your money. Because let's face it, all of those are pretty limited for us, especially that we're all starting out. Remember, your happiness and your goals, your success, relies on where you set it out as well. So be forgiving to yourself and set realistic goals. Writing and releasing music should be a fun experience. Point 2 is prepare for your release. Nowadays, even small bands like us, we can make legit looking releases, EP releases or single releases that will look like we have a label. You just have to prepare for it as meticulous as you can. Prepare good looking artwork, prepare a video or two, prepare promotional materials. You can make at least basic teasers for your song, and make a schedule for your posts and your content as well, so you know what to post and which to announce on which day. Because marketing for your release is very important, and even if us DIY people, we need to market ourselves like we are a big deal, or we are the deal. Does that make sense? Yeah, no one will know if you're going to release a song on Friday and you only announced it like Monday of that week. You have to build up for it. You have to have them be interested in what you're going to release. Because let's face it, a lot of people are busy, a lot of people are going on with their own lives, and not everyone is going to find time to check your stuff out. And with loads of new stuff and new distractions every day, you have to make them notice you. Third point is expect to lose money. I know that's a pretty hard pill to swallow, but it's true. You're going to lose a lot of money, especially if you outsource a lot of things. From mixing, from producing, from mastering, from creating the artwork, or having a film crew to take your music video, all of that. It costs a ton of money, not just some money, it's a ton of money. It helps if you can self-produce, like C2A. He makes all his artwork, he mixes his songs, he masters his songs, he takes his own videos, and that's great if you can do that. And if you can self-produce, it's kind of a pick your poison situation where you can choose to outsource some of it, and some of it you can do all by yourself, which is you can save a lot of money from that. But not all of us is Misha, not all of us is David Maxim Michich. For me, I'm not a great producer, I'm not also a great mixing engineer. I was just figuring out the recording software when I was doing my first release. I can't really compete with guys who are mixing like for 5 to 10 years already. My mix is gonna suck, let's face it. So this goes hand in hand with the goal that you've set early on. Because by writing your goal early on, you should know where you can take your losses. If your reason for releasing music is because you want to improve your mixing skills, then do it. Don't outsource your mixing part. And maybe you can outsource the mastering part, so at least there's another engineer to double check your work. If you're releasing music because you want your name to be known as a great producer, then maybe you can outsource the mixing part. I think that's a good idea, that you can predict what properties of your release that you can handle because you want to improve in that. And by defining all of those and executing based on your goals, it will be your journey of how you will be able to self-improve. In my case, I have a day job, I am a software engineer, and during this release, I realized that there's so much that I have to improve. From a guitar player, from a producer, to a mix engineer, all of those, I knew that I had to improve. But personally, I feel that time is what's most important for me. But I don't want to waste 2 or 3 years of my life figuring out how to mix just to release the music that I wrote 2 years ago. If that makes sense, I just don't want to waste any more time, and I just want to release so I can move on, work on, well, newer things. So for mine, it's gonna be expensive because it's basically having my own mix engineer, my own producer, mastering engineer. I had someone who take the first music video, the EP art, everything based. The only thing that I've made for this is some of the media stuff and also tracking and producing the record. And trust me, it's an expensive endeavor. It costs thousands of dollars basically. But my reasoning for this is I want to release my music and give my music the release that it deserves. So I just wanted to have a release that looks legit, that you can take seriously from an outsider point of view, because this is my dream. So even if I stop recording or writing music tomorrow, I'd have a release that I can be proud of, that I have chosen to fulfill my dreams. So that's my reasoning for having an expensive debut release. So yeah, I just want to give my release the release that it deserves, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next point is don't be afraid to go all in. It's like to counterpart the expectation that you will lose money in a way. Because again, for my case, this is my dream. And regardless if it flopped or not, I would be happy and proud with it. I made a music video. I had a song on Spotify. Even that is enough for me. And I didn't really want to wait another year or the next year, and I had to wait for a new guitar or new gear just to start it. At some point, you just have to go all in and give it the best that you can. As long as you're true to what you have written as a goal, you will be fulfilled, trust me. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't consider your finances and just go all in. You still have to manage your three currencies, like I said. Your time, your effort, and your money. Again, this is a pick your poison type of situation. You should be able to know what are you going to lose, what are you going to pay for it, and how can you eventually recover from it. You should always compare the pros and cons and just do it. For example, if you're looking for a $100 guitar lesson, for example, would that help you in your goal? Or are you just reasoning out that you need that $100 investment for that? Should you learn Photoshop so you can make your EP art instead? Or will you save time and effort by just buying a pre-made album art? That will save you time and effort, but then again, it will cost money. So it's always a comparison between your currencies. Consider how time, money, and effort will always interact with each other, and just weigh which are you comfortable in losing. So the next point is don't expect too much, but hope for the best. This one is real for me. I mean, when I got the masters of the Atlas Initiative EP, even with all the goals and my plans set, all written down and everything is going to plan, I still asked myself and I still doubted that is this even good enough? Will I be ridiculed beyond oblivion if I release this? Because for me, when I was listening to it, I felt that no one's gonna like it, really. I was so nervous in releasing it. But this is the moment that you ask yourself or you remind yourself as to why you're really doing it. For me, it's my dream and it's for my personal fulfillment. It really doesn't matter if no one likes it. I'm just writing music that I like in the style that I like, and I will not really beg for people to like check it out or listen to it if they don't want. And it's funny because like I said earlier, I was so nervous in releasing the music. So that's why it's important to just keep reminding yourself, because even if you said one thing, sometimes the mind will play tricks on you. So you just have to be honest, you just have to be humble, and you just have to keep yourself grounded. And like I said, I only set my unique listener goal to 500 unique listeners. And I even felt that that wouldn't be even possible. And I was so surprised that it kept rising and rising, how it ended up on other people's playlists. It's a pleasant surprise for me, and of course, I'm grateful for it. And realistically speaking, not all songs, not all of our releases will be successful. You can make the best song with the best production, with the best guitar solo ever, and still not get noticed. There is really luck in all of this, and all you can do is do your best on what you can control. For my release, I felt happy that I didn't release my EP on November because we have intervals and we have Pliny putting out albums next month, and I'm pretty sure my EP would get ignored when everyone is checking out, well, intervals and Pliny. Well, I guess I wouldn't be able to know that, but like it's also luck because we don't really know when will someone release a record, right? And my last tip or a bonus tip would be ask yourself what you can improve for your next release, because again, it's not guaranteed that you'll have a great release, a successful release, and you can always improve from what you've done the last time. So for me, this is why I have this retrospective, so I can tell myself what can I improve for the next time. Personally, if I'm going to self-criticize myself on camera, I want to improve my lead playing, even my songwriting. I know some of my songs in the release are very straightforward maybe, or it can benefit from me improving as a guitar player and a producer. So that will be my goal for my next EP or next single. I want to look at my guitar playing and just improve my technique, and also learn more about songwriting and producing. I want to be able to add elements that complements the music, if that makes sense. So yeah, that will be my focus for like the next year or so, to work on my guitar playing, because honestly, I don't really work on my guitar playing since I started working. It's just the same guitar stuff that I've been playing since then. So yeah, definitely I hope that I can work on my technique and also my production skills. So I'm really looking forward to the next EP. Even if it's like a long time to get there. So I guess that's just a reminder for you to always be critical to what you can improve. So on your next EP, you have a better chance of having a successful release, and also you can at least compare and be happy with your improvements, because that's my goal, right? Just improving as a songwriter and just enjoying and releasing the music. So I guess that's it. Those are my thoughts, my experiences on releasing the Atlas Initiative EP. I hope you find my insights helpful, and I hope this inspires you to release a song, to release music, or just start your dream or endeavor. I think this is effective for any business or endeavor that you're going to pursue. So start today. I hope I can keep doing this for my future releases, future EPs, future singles, so we can track what have I improved on and what didn't improve personally for me. And I hope I can inspire anyone who is on the fence as well. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, or you can slide a DM on me on Instagram. And again, thank you so much for checking out the video. Thank you for checking it out with me. And thank you for your support always. Don't forget to check out the Atlas Initiative EP. Buy my merch at Mickosis.com. I would appreciate it a lot. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, especially if it helped you, right? And as always, my name is Miko, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!